Hello dear viewers, Namaskar. Welcome to Moksha Media. You are with Moksha Hremat. The name of Tontada Siddhalingeshwara is well known in the state of Karnataka and around the state of Karnataka. Tontada Siddhalinga is also called as Shivayogi. So, he is generally called as Tontada Siddhalinga Shivayogi. He has his own influence on Linkaites especially and others. He believed in Shatastalas. He practiced Ashtavarna, Panchachara and Shatastala. As he was a considerable at that time, he is also considered even today in the state of Karnataka. So we can see he is much spread here and there in Karnataka. Of course, Tontada Siddhalinga Shivayogi was also a Vachanakara. He composed 701 Vachanas. We could see his Vachanas in the volume Shatastala. Amruta Sarasa. Shatastala Jnana Amruta. So we can see his Vachanas in Shatastala Jnanamrita. As I told you, it is Shatastala Jnanamrita Sara Jnanasaramrita, not Jnanamrita, Jnanasaramrita. Of course, he told of on and about Shatastala. He was born in a village of Aradhanalli in the district of Chamarajanagara in Karnataka. His father was Mallikarjuna and mother was Janambi. His family was belonged to trading community. His guru was Gosala Channabasaveshwara. His signature is Mahalinga Guru Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu. Of course, the name Tontada is added to him As he was meditated for 6 months in the form of Keggere. So then he moved Siddhalingeshwara and went to Ediyuru. Of course, there he stayed in a Shilamata built by Channavirappa of Danivasa village. Of course, that Ediyuru is even today famous as it is on the bank of Nagini river. Here, I would like to quote some of his vachanas. Of course, vachanas are very simple. They make man a devoteful one. They enable manly qualities even in humans. Here, I would like to quote 2 or 3 of his vachanas. Of course, a lot of research should be done in this case as in the case of other vachanakaras. Here is a vachana. What everyone agree upon is no proof. What everyone disagrees is no proof. Of course, we think of proof and proving this thing and that thing. But some people agree upon it and some people disagree it. Yet they do not know the heart of Shivasharnas. They agree or disagree because they don't know the heart of Shivasharnas. What I agree with and what I disagree, only you know, you being the idol in my heart. Linga Guru, Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu. Of course, only Shiva knows it, what he agrees and disagrees. Only Linga knows it, what he proves and what is not proved. So, here, Mahalinga Guru, Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu is the witness for it. So here vachana is simple. It talks of proof. It talks of agrees and etc. etc. But here, what others agree or disagree is not important. But Shiva knows what he does, what he agrees and disagrees. And that knowing Shiva and Shiva knowing him is very important. Then another vachana. What if you go naked and yet unable to conquer Maya? What if you tonsure your head and yet unable to cut through worldliness? What kind of nirvana this? Independent Sharanas don't approve of this. Mahalinga Guru, Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu. Some people go in search of nirvana. Of course, they should search of it. In order to go nirvana, they go naked, they remove their clothes and they practice it, and they think that by that they can attain nirvana. And some people shave their head that is, turned their head, thinking that if one practices that, automatically one day or other day he can get nirvana. And but even though they remove their clothes and turn their heads, they do not give up the worldliness. They do not give the sheer enjoyments of life. And if they do it, what is the use of going in search of nirvana? So it is not that much of useful. You cannot attain nirvana if you practice one thing and do another thing and mind other thing. But independent sharanas don't approve of it. Sharanas also in search of moksha. They do not approve of your way of tonsing it and going naked. So, Mahalinga Guru Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu is witness for it. Another vachana, forgetting the weapon, can one fight? Forgetting the body, can one work? Forgetting the mouth, can one eat? Worshipping linga without patience, meditation, and nearness is nothing but death. Offering without awakening is nothing but perversity. If your heart unites with the linga without willfulness, that is real offering, that is prasada. Mahalinga Guru Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu. Of course, when we want to fight, when we want to make war on others, automatically we are in need of weapons. If you forget the weapons, you cannot fight properly. If you forget the body, you cannot work properly. Because you have to mind your body and then only you can work properly. And if you forget the mouth, you cannot eat. And if you worship linga without patience and meditation, you cannot go near to Shiva or near to linga. It is nothing but a kind of death. If you offer something to Shiva, to linga without awareness, of course it becomes perversity. But if your heart unites with the linga without any willfulness, then only that becomes a real offering, that becomes a real prasada. Mahalinga Guru Siddhalingeshwara Prabhu. Like this, Tontada Siddhalinga Shivayogi goes on and on, revealing his mind. Of course, his ideas are based on Veerashaiva tenets that are Ashtavarna, Panchachara, and Shatastava. Of course, there are some stages in search of going a particular dharma or mata. And Siddhalinga Shivayogi pursued those stages as others. So he advised others to read and edit vachanas which are spread here and there. Yes, that should be done. A proper research should be done without unbiased mind. Some of the scholars did their best, but a few of them have not come out of the biased mind. When we are in search of something, that unbiased mind is very important. And commitment to research is also very important. Often and often it is told a researcher can get what he wants to get. Of course, that is right in so many cases. If we keep something in our mind, if we go in search of it, one other day we find it. That is what we see in the vachanas of Tontada, Siddhalingeshwara. I think due to the scarcity of time, this much is enough, because a lot of research should be done in each case, and of course others also. So subscribe and see you in the next episode. Namaskar.